Hey, what's up, everybody? This is episode 6 of Not Hilarious. I am your host. My name is Larry, and today I'm doing my podcast. I'm in the car, so I'm not gonna do it for long. I'm probably do it for a solid like 15 minutes, just talk about stuff. And it's about, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock, and on January 17th. And let's see, what do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I don't know, but today I'm just working and just driving around. And you know what's so funny? I'm doing this with my phone, this podcast, and like I'm always looking at the screen, looking at myself, but always forget to look at the camera. And you should always look at the camera, because sometimes like when you look at the screen, they're like, what is he looking at? But you have to look at the camera, so it looks like you're looking at the people that's watching it. And I really doubt someone's watching this, but it's fine. And damn, it's getting dark really fast. I noticed that sunset is like around like 5:20 now. So that's kind of good, because you know why? Because that means spring is coming up in a couple of months. I hope spring comes in soon, man. I know I rant about this, but it's too cold. Like, it's just too cold, you know? Like, I know we in LA and you know, I'm dealing with first, you know, world problems and stuff like that, but it's like 50 degrees, and to some people 50 degrees is like, you know, warm for them, or they just wearing like t-shirts and stuff like that, but it's still cold. And it was raining yesterday, and it's like, oh my God, man. As you know, you listened to the previous episode, I have eczema. So when it's cold, my skin gets dry. And that's not fun, okay? Now, can I just use regular lotion? Hell no, because that's gonna mess with my skin. My skin is super sensitive. And I'm so glad, like, as a father, my son does not have eczema. His skin is so good. I'm so jealous of him. I'm so jealous of his of his skin, man. Like, he has like nice baby skin, you know. He's like 5 years old, and he's like, man, I'm thankful for that. He doesn't have to deal with eczema. You should see, because like I Google some like eczema on kids, and oh my God, like it makes me want to cry, because you can feel the pain that kid is dealing with. And it's like, oh my God, like sometimes they have these big cuts because they keep scratching it and stuff like that. Like right now, like I'm pretty good at it, because right now I learned how to meditate. And I think that's one thing that really helped me out my eczema, is that when I feel like scratching, I just take like I think I explained this before, but I'm going to explain this again. But I just breathe, you know, like breathe and focus on that breathing. And I think that helped me out with my my meditation. That's how I learned how to meditate. So yeah, I'm drinking my coffee. What else? What's going on today? Nothing going on. You know, most of the time I'm just working, you know, trying to figure things out, trying to figure out business, trying to figure out how to be a dad. You know, after 3 years, been single, you know, and people think that I don't enjoy my single life, and I do. Because right now, it's the best time for me, like right now, to be single and just figuring things out, you know. And I give a lot of thought about this. And it's like, one of my friends was asking me, like, why don't you just start dating? And it's like, man, let me give my thoughts on this. Like, it's like, dating is great, but to me, you know, at the moment, it's just like, for what? You know, I already passed down my DNA, which is my son, and he's a healthy kid. So it's like, I feel like when you're younger, you get, you know, you want to like have sex with everybody. You want to fuck every girl you see. You do that because you it's in your biology. and you just want to breed. That's why sex feels amazing, you know. So now it's like I'm in my 30s. I'm more wiser. I'm more careful about who I associate with, and I'm really careful about who I want to get into a relationship with, especially like hanging out with women, or just, I love having friends as a woman, but relationship wise, it's like I am very, very careful with that. Like my past marriage, or my first marriage, I dodged the bullet. Like my ex, like thank goodness she's like kind of like an arrogant person who thinks like, oh, I'm a woman, I could do better than men and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like let me do my thing with my son, and let me do my thing, and you do your thing, and that's it. It was very, very kind of simple, It's just the emotional battle that I had to deal with. So sometimes like my ex would like, date somebody, and he obviously, makes more money than me and stuff like that. And I know a lot of guys would feel intimidated. They're like, or they already right off the bat be like, fuck that guy, And little does my ex know that I know her pretty well. I know that woman for like for a solid 8 years already. Lived with her for about good 4 or 5 years. Now we're not together for a good 3 years. So I know her pretty well. And it's pretty crazy because as it's so crazy when you're together, you're so blinded with a lot of things. And then when you're not together no more, when you break up, and then you're just trying to figure yourself out instead of trying to escape by drinking alcohol or getting into another relationship. And I'm gonna get to that, because I feel like when you do stuff like that, when you just get to another relationship after a relationship, a long relationship especially, I feel like when people do that, you're escaping something. And I have to question you when you do stuff like that. If you're my friend and like you gotta turn the lights real quick so then you guys can see me. If you're my friend and you do something like you just got off a relationship, and then 1 month later you got into another relationship, to me it's just like I feel a little bit suspect. Like, what are you up to? Why are you doing that? Why don't you figure yourself out first? And that you, yeah, I just don't get that. Like I don't quite get that. And I'm glad like I went, I'm single for the past 3 years, because I really figured things out. I really sat down a lot of these nights for 3 years and just think about life, just think about like what I want to do, where I want to be at in like a couple of years. And most importantly, be there for my son, So I'm so glad like I never got too crazy with drugs, alcohol, like, yeah, man, that's dark, that's dark. Like some people, they just, after a breakup or something, they just drink their life away. And that's just like, damn, man, why you gotta do that, And yeah, just seeing people drinking their life away, it's really painful to watch, especially when you see somebody do that you care about. It's just like, oh my God. And I know a guy I care a lot about. I know him all my life, and just seeing him drink is just like painful to watch, because you care, and you can see, that person has some kind of demons that he's dealing with, and he can't deal with it, so he drinks his life away. And I always tell him, like, I'm like, every time he takes a shot or something, I just want to be like, well, I would tell him that, hey man, you're going to die if you keep drinking like this. And you are going to die if you're drinking like that. That's crazy how people can just take a shot in the morning. And it's just in general, just drink on a daily basis. Drinking every day, man. That taxes your body, you know, like it's just, you're just subtracting years of your life away. So instead of you're gonna live up to 85, you're gonna subtract 10 years of your life drinking every day. So instead of 85, you're gonna die at 75 or sooner, you know. And your liver, man, like the liver, I feel bad. People who drinks a lot, I feel bad for their liver. Like imagine the liver is just like, you know, like the pain of that liver is going through when the poison is like going through, you know, when the liver is like processing like the liver, they're like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Why am I filtering out this poison, you know? And I'm so glad like I never got into that. Like drinking is fun, don't get me wrong, you know, and I do enjoy my days of drinking. And nowadays I haven't drank over a year, and you know, I did drink like last month, because I told my cousin, like one of my cousins, I was like, hey man, it's been over a year since I drank, you know, so if anything, I'll take a shot with you. And he's like, oh yeah, cool man, I'll take a shot. And then yeah, I took like 2 shots, but it didn't, I feel a little buzz, but it doesn't excite me no more, you know. It's just like, okay, what else, you know? I think what excites me is like being successful, and that's what I'm aiming for, you know, trying to figure myself out. But yeah, drugs, like I never did crazy drugs, you know. I love smoking pot. Oh, I love smoking like a good joint. Like, yeah, I like doing that, you know. You know what's good? Smoking a joint and a cup of coffee in the morning is amazing. It's like, dang, that feels good. It makes you enjoy life and just appreciate the little things in life, you know. I like doing that, you know, but I don't do it on a daily basis. I used to do it on a daily basis, but nowadays it's just like, okay, I got things to do, you know. But yeah, drugs, man. I never did. I'm so thankful, like I never did like heavy drugs. Like I did, besides like weed, I never got into pills. So when people ask me, have you ever done Xanax, Ambien, sleeping pills, I don't know, what's those painkillers, Vicodin, stuff like that, I never done that before. I never. Unless I'm like in surgery, like I had to take it, then I'll take it. But I think the last pain, like powerful pain medicine I took was like some kind of Tylenol, like because I took a wisdom tooth out. Other than that, I never took it. I never had the desire to do it. It's just like, oh, why do I need it, you know? I did cocaine once, and I didn't like it. It's just like, oh, I drank 20 cups of coffee, and it wears out like 30 minutes. And I remember like my face was like numb. And I was in Vegas. We were in this club called Marquee. This is like back in like this was exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, this was exactly 9 years ago. Holy shit, that was 9 years ago. I was still a baby. But yeah, exactly. I remember it was like January, and we went to Vegas, and like I was 22 at that time. Wow. Jeez, I'm getting old, huh? Nah, I'm not old. I'm still the youngest man alive, man. 31. I'll be 32 in like a couple months. But yeah, don't ever say that you're old, man. You know, I think it's just a number. But yeah, I did cocaine once. I was at Marquee, and then like I was in a bathroom stall, and my friend was next to me. He was like, "Hey Larry, you wanna take a hit?" And then he passed like the cocaine, the bag, And I was like, oh, okay. And I was just like, you know what? I'm in Vegas. I'm young. You know, like I know that I'm gonna do it once. So it's like, the thing about me is that I never have like an addiction problem. So, you know, like I'll just do it. You know, I'll just sniff one, took the key. And I was like, you know, I did like a pro too. I was like, it was easy drug that you just sniff, you know. And then I felt like, oh, I want to drink again. I did not like that. I sobered up right away, and then as I know that I was sobering up, all I can think about was like, oh, if I can sober up right away and then drink more, what's gonna happen to my body? You know, that was a scary part. So I never liked cocaine, never did any drugs besides that. Other than cocaine, I also did Molly or ecstasy. Now that was an amazing drug. Ecstasy. Now that was back in like 2007. So right now it's 2020. It's about good, you know, it's about a good, how many years is that? 13 years, you know? The car light just turned off. It's gonna get dark soon, so I'm gonna end this real quick in about another 5 minutes and talk about this Molly experience. But yeah, I did Molly once, and then it was a rave. It's called Monster Massive. It was like around Halloween time in like 2007. So I was literally like 19 years old, and I didn't plan on doing any drugs. I just want to experience a rave, you know. So I decided, like, okay, my friend, I was sitting on this stadium, or it's a giant arena. So we were sitting like on top of the arena, and a friend of mine, he had a whole bag of like pills, and then he was like, Larry, you wanna pop? I was like, okay. Took one, and then he gave me another one. So I remember taking 2 pills, and oh my God, that was one of the best experience of my life. It felt so good. And then there's this one chick, I think she's like part of the group, you know. She's real cool. She's like, oh my God, like she's like so like hippie-ish, you know. And she was just like, oh my God, like, are you like rolling? And I'm like, yeah. And then I remember dancing. I remember like, oh my God, this feels so good. Dancing, drinking water. It felt amazing. And then and then she took me to this chick. She took me to this, like, in the middle of a stage. So I remember very clearly, like, there was these light shows like on the stadium, and there was this part in the song where it was just like it was bright lights. It was a bright light, so it's shining for like a good 5 seconds, and it turned off. And I remember when it was shining, it was at least like 100 lights. You know, it would just go up like this, and it was whoosh, like a big, like a white light. And then I felt like I was reborn again. You know, I think that was kind of like my first psychedelic experience. It felt very, I think that's what psychedelics feel like. Like, it felt that good, and it just felt like I was just like steps away from heaven, you know, in that moment. And yeah, man, that felt really good. The massages, and this chick, and she took me, she gave me the massage, and she was dancing with me and stuff like that. And like, yeah, she gave me some massage, and it felt amazing. It was like, whoa, this feels really good. And after the rave, man, I felt so depressed. I felt so stupid. And it was just like, I remember I was recovering from the depression for at least a month. I might exaggerate, maybe a week or two, but it felt forever. And I think that's the only time I would take ecstasy. Maybe one day later, but it's one of those things where just like, okay, I don't need it, you know. And I feel like if I was to do that again, like I'm trying to chase the high again. So I'd rather have like that first experience be my first and last and my best experience. And that was a fun high, man. And other than that, those are the only drugs that I've did. Those are the only drugs I've done. I really want to take psychedelics, like mushrooms, like psilocybin mushrooms, DMT, and like ayahuasca, like ritual stuff, you know. I really want to try that out, see how that's like, you know. Anything that's chemically done, like a crack or something, or like meth, count me out. I'm not doing that stuff. But anything that grows from the ground, like mushrooms, like psilocybin mushrooms, you know, or you brew it or something, then yeah, like brew it like how like the native Indians would do it or something, then yeah, I'm down for it. Anything that's natural, you know. So yeah, that's like those are my drug experience, you know. Nothing too exciting, man. I'm such a pussy when it comes to drugs, you know. Because I'm just really aware of like what's in it and stuff like that and what I put in my body. So that's why like I never got too crazy with drugs, you know. But like I said, you know, this podcast, I'm just doing this for a good 20, you know what? It's almost the same thing like all the other podcasts. So episode 6, I'm out, man. I'm just doing this real quick. Hopefully I can find more time. I want to do it for at least 30 minutes, but 20 minutes is fine. You know, who the fuck's gonna listen to this anyways? Be back. You know, I was so close of not doing this because I'll just do it tomorrow, and then eventually I'll just do next week. And I hate that. That drives me crazy. So I told, since I did this last week, I said I'm gonna do 2 episodes a week, and I've been for 2 weeks already. I've been doing 2 episodes a week. So I guess that's good, right? Being consistent with it. I think I'm more comfortable in front of the camera, and yeah, man. So I'm gonna end it here. So I'm gonna see you guys later. And tomorrow, January 18th, is a big Conor McGregor fight tomorrow. So I'm gonna watch that with a couple of my buddies. So see ya.